2 and 2. What's going on, folks? I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining me. Hope you are all well. Beautiful Saturday night. Hopefully we get more than 2 people. 6 people. All right. Maybe someone will punch in on the chat. Depressing night. Dodgers got beat terribly by Atlanta, 10-1. What's up, Jesse? Good. How are you? I hope you're feeling well as well. As well. Got some lot lizard experiences. MJ, how are you, dearie? What's up, Russell Potter? How are you, bud? Puma Pete, what's going on, my brother? Delirium. You are always welcome, Jesse. Good. Always welcome. So I got a variety of really interesting experiences to share tonight. I'm pretty stoked, actually, because I got some stuff, some experiences picked out right here. I got a stack right there. Hey, M, how are you? Claire Harris, Motor Boom. What's up, Joe? What's up, Crappy McCappy? And I've got some stuff out of True Legends by Stephen Quayle and some stuff out of Little Creatures by Stephen Quayle again. So we're going to have a good night. What's up, Gringo? How are you, buddy? I'm super excited. Hey, Sonny, welcome. I'm glad that you're here with us. What's up, Jess B? How are you? Simone? Tired tonight, but I can't go to bed without dropping in. You will be missed, but I understand if you have to crash. What's up, Glenn? How are you, brother? DB Mac is in the house. Man, I can't wait for Gringo to send me those encounters. that was just a little hint, Gringo. What's up, Caden? How are you, my sexy McMuffin? Beretta Vandy. Troy, how are you tonight? Craigers? Sonia. Shit, we're getting the peoples in. Remember, Monday night, live stream. What's up, name redacted? Monday night, live stream. 1 hour. Zilla, how are you? I am so glad that you're here. Monday, live stream, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I want to thank Zilla. Zilla sent me a birthday present early. And I don't know if you guys can see it because the glare, but it is friggin' beautiful. Like, I am so stoked. Thank you, Zilla. I appreciate this. You know I do. I purposely have not hung it up. Leah, how are you, dearie? Thank you. Thank you so much. I purposely haven't hung it up yet because I wanted to thank you guys thank Zilla for it. Shari, what's up, Tyler Firehorse? How are you? Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. What's up, Cream? How are you? Kakalina, how are you, dearie? I know when it came in the mail, it said fragile on it, right? And just based on the box, thin box, long, whatever. And I was like, oh man, I'm like, this is a picture. This is going to be cool. And I was a little nervous because my mail people, they suck. Not the delivery guy, but the people in the warehouse suck. So there was a little dent or puncture in the box itself. But thank God, nothing was wrong with it. Cream, I'm glad that you're here with us. Thank you. What's up, Tosh? Tosh A. Tosh, you should put like, instead of Tosh A, you should put Tosh 3.0 instead of A or 2.0. Hopefully you get that joke. One of my favorite comedians, Tosh, is great. What's up, Nubian? How are you, my friend? Ska, what's going on? Joe, did you change your picture again, dearie? My birthday's Monday, so I will be doing a live stream from 9 to 10, just an hour long, because I want to spend some time with you guys. But yeah, I got a pretty laid back birthday planned. I'm going to take my dad's truck. He's got a 1971 fully restored K20 pickup truck. I'm going to take that out for a little while on my birthday. And, well, I'm going to put cans in it and take my cans back on my birthday and drive the truck up to Warrensburg, which is about an hour north of here, just to give it some drive time before we put it up for the winter. It really hasn't gotten any drive time, so. Nubian, I didn't ask you if you were a man. I already knew you were a man because you'd be Nubian Empress, not Nubian Emperor. What the hell's going on, Jim Baker? George Coker, how are you? 59th, what's up? B-Day's today? Oh, no shit. Happy birthday, Nubian. 40th birthday, no shit. Well, happy fucking birthday to you, my brother. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Nubian. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for spending your birthday with us today. I really appreciate that. Wow, that's awesome. Much love to you, my friend. Much love. Oh, Lucy Fanning. Thank you. I'm glad that you do love the shows. Hey, Katie Byers, how are you? How about the growth that the channel's been doing, huh? I'm not going to jinx myself, but holy cow. 84,000? I'm like that close to getting my play button. It's only been 8 years in the making, right? Me and Caden are the same age. Caden looks good for his age, though. I look like dog shit. Caden's got like this full head of like ungrayed hair. He can pull off wearing a freaking brassiere. Like Caden's just, and I'm like, look at this, fucking gray all over the place. I shouldn't even be wearing this hat today. We got our asses kicked 10-1 by Atlanta. Get that, Atlanta. What's up, Rockin' Steady, IE Native? How are you? Damien Oliver. No, migrants maybe, but not werewolf. Redacted. That's funny. What's up, Steve-O? No, they're not to control the inner cities. I think more or less to be honest with you, I don't fucking know. I honestly don't know, and I'm not even going to attempt to guess, because every time I've tried to guess like why they're using these things, it doesn't make sense, you know. Why would they? Yeah, we know they do. We know they have been. And even before Victor came on the show, we all, for those of you who had been in the community and researching this stuff for a long time, you've heard that werewolves and dogmen were in Vietnam, and you know, like, so it's kind of hard to even imagine why or what, you know. I think more or less they're using them right now to protect deep underground military bases, and which I believe the majority of them are in national parks, national forest preserves, and that's why there's a lot of missing 411. I don't believe that werewolf, Dogman, Bigfoot are the major cause to the missing 411. I think it's something else. I think more or less it's the aliens, but not with a UFO, with a portal. That's just my Aramik, how are you? That's just my own theory, but I do believe that they are the 411s. Oh my God, Aramik starts the night off already. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Zilla, I'm glad that you like that, brother. I really am. Tom Mezek. Okay, here's something I wanted to quickly point out. A 411, right? Tom Mezek, 411, disappeared 10 miles north of my location right now. But what did he have to, what were they protecting at that point? I don't think anything. I think what they wanted to do is the alien agenda or whatever, whoever's controlling it, needed some kind of experimentation victim, and he just happened to be the choice that day. I think that if Tom was in a different location, it might have been his cousin or his friend, Did I miss anybody? O'Shea, how are you? Tina, how are you? Kevin, Gen X, Mr. Anderson, Susan from the Jazzy. Kamel, how are you? Black Queen Jax, how are you? I haven't seen Steph yet. Rockin' steady. Thank you, my brother. I only need a penny, baby. I only need a penny. Yeah, wrong time, wrong place. Yeah. I think that he was sitting in a location that he shouldn't have been. Like if his cousin had been where Tom was. I've been trying to get in touch with the gentleman who works for the Forest Service up here that created the map for the rescue and recovery of Tom, but I can't get in touch with him. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. What's up, Robert Sharp? Joel Burgess. Burgess, how are you, Joel? Sniper, what's going on from North Georgia mountains? What's the weather where everyone's at tonight? Just really quick before we get into some encounters. It is 64 in the Adirondacks. I'm glad that you're doing well, Robert Sharp. 60 in Ohio, 70s in, what's up, Willie D? How are you, brother? 78 coastal North Carolina. Damn. No chemtrails here in Wisconsin. Thank God for that. 73 in Virginia, Rhode Island. Yeah, it's kind of muggy up here too, a little bit. 92 in Arizona. By gosh. I got to do a fucking ball shake for that one because that one made my nuts sweat already. What's going on, Mad Dog? From Kissimmee, Florida. When I lived in Flagler, Florida, I never had a night where it was 77. I might have stayed there for a little longer, but it was just so gosh darn hot down there that I was like, man, I got to go. There are no mountains. There's just wild boar running through my backyard, and it's 90 fucking degrees every day and night. 100 days over 100 degrees. Holy shit. God dang. Thank you, MS. I got this at the Bigfoot Fest. 53 in Vermont. You're about what? Cannon is about 2 hours away from me. Yeah. Always got swamp ass in the freaking in the Florida wilds of Flagler County. Fixing to rain. Got some motor scooters going on. Got those motor scooters cooking around. Did you guys see the upload that I did the other day where I thanked Leah or Lee? I don't know how to say her name. Leah? Yeah, Leah. Leah. Yeah, Leah. Leah H sent me a Lot Lizard shirt and a Dogman shirt. I thanked her in that, but the Lot Lizard shirt's awesome. I showed my dad the Lot Lizard shirt today. My dad started laughing his ass off. He goes, "Wait, why do you guys talk about lot lizards on your channel?" And I'm like, "Because they're great." I'm like, lot lizards are like the forbidden fruit of cryptids. No one talks about the lot lizards, like only us. But my dad absolutely loved the freaking shirt. Today is MS's birthday too. Wow. MS, you're celebrating the birthday with Nubian. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, MS. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Sniper 021. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. All right. So now that we got people in here, lot lizard experiences. I got a shitload of encounters, and because I want to thank Stephen Quayle some more, because he linked one of my videos on his webpage, and I was like, holy shit, like a gentleman that I look up to, that I aspire to be, but I'd probably never be because I'm kind of an asshole. Like I'm funny and not really, and I swear a lot, and he's really good. But I got some stuff out of this book by Stephen Quayle, True Legends. As you can see, I got some stuff marked off that I want to share with you guys. And I've got some stuff out of this one, Little Creatures. The Gates of Hell Are Opening. And this one is really good because, do something, what's up? Because it makes a lot of sense. That title right there, The Gates of Hell Are Opening. And I think that we are still in the beginning of everything. We still have a long way till shit really hits the fan. I think that we're going to see a lot more disappearances. We're going to have a lot more encounters happening. There's going to be a lot more strangeness. I don't think we're going to see the end of times in my lifetime. I hope not in my children's either, but I think maybe in 100 years, but I think shit's just going to get worse and worse as we go along. So Aramic, thank you again. Larry Lindman, holy shit. Thank you so much, brother. I'm glad that you're here with us. Wow, we got a lot of people in here already. All right. So we will start this evening. Fuck it. We're starting the evening with this. And the cop is right down there. His back of his car is right there. So $20 is $20. All right. So we got that out of the system for a little bit. Now let's get into an encounter. There we go. This one is fucking freaky, and I really enjoyed reading it to get it set for today. Back when I was in high school, my friend and I saw something I've begun to refer to as the crawler. This was in Rossville, Illinois, nighttime, and in a cemetery. I think it was probably late summer or early fall because I don't remember it being too cold out. Would have been between 2007 and 2010. Pretty sure the moon was close to it because visibility was pretty good. My friend and I used to walk this loop. We would leave her place and go down a block to the side of the road that would lead to a park. William D., thank you, brother. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that your kids. Zoe! All right, now I'll get back. My friend and I used to walk this loop. We would leave her place and go down the block to the side of the road that led to a park. We would then turn left and cut across the park to the side entrance of the cemetery. The cemetery and park sat at the very southwest corner of town. Beyond that was just woods and cornfield. If we had gone straight across the cemetery, it would take us to another side of the road that then led to Main Street back to where her house was. We made it to the cemetery and we were walking the main drive that split the property in half. There was a sudden noise that made us both stop. My friend started laughing nervously, and I asked if they had heard the noise as well. I and both her said yes, we both heard it. To my left, I had seen something running behind the headstones. It was on all fours, but it was humanoid. It had extremely pale skin and no hair. It looked very thin. I remember it was so pale, it almost reflected the moonlight. It moved so fast, too fast for any human I have ever seen on their hands and feet, that I couldn't see too many details. It was a total profile, so I never saw the facial details. The way it ran was like an animal as well, in that it had a gait where its feet came forward almost between or past its hands. Watch a video of a big cat or wild dog running to see what I mean. We were both terrified. We just stood there panicking and listening to it move around, just out of sight. While we called one of our friends to come and meet us and take us the rest of the way to the house. Her friend, a very typical high school boy, arrived and naturally wanted to stay in the cemetery and goof off a bit. For some reason, with him, they're acting dumb, it was less scary. But I remember it just kept making these weird circles around us. It always stayed out of sight, but you could hear it as it moved. Occasionally, it would come a little closer, then seemed to dart further away. Eventually, we left. I spent a while researching it and even reached out to a paranormal group in Champaign for advice. The guy I talked to had never heard of anything like it, but wanted to document what I saw. We met up with him and did an interview, but the group never did an investigation. Fast forward a few years, and I am living in Aurora, Colorado. I met one of my closest friends in about 2012. We really hit it off because we were into the paranormal. When I eventually told him about what I had seen, his jaw hit the floor. He told me he had seen the same thing and told me his experience. He described exactly what I had seen, but he had seen it under a porch while living in Thornton. It was crouched down and squatted. He thinks that he startled it while it was eating because he said it was hunched over something it was holding. Now, he comes from Navajo/Apache background, and when we first met, his best get was Skinwalker. But then, and especially now, he said he has doubts about that, as those things being an answer. He was dating a girl at the time whose mom claimed to be a medium. She said she thought it was something that someone woke up to, and it was now angry. We both have serious doubts about that one, too. The stranger part came when he and I brought it up. We were both started having very intense nightmares about this thing. His were worse than mine and lasted much longer. This was also punctuated by a 6-month period of time filled with a lot of bad luck and anxiety. I always sort of brushed this off as we just psyched ourselves out until I sent my experience out to a friend, and after it was read, a listener sent in their story. They described what my friend and I had seen and also described the sightings as being punctuated by nightmares. I couldn't write that off because he spoke about his nightmare in detail and they matched my friend's nightmares exactly. I have never given out details of what exactly happened in either of our nightmares. I have read tons of other experiences by other people on the internet. I've dug through mounds of lore and cryptid list. I still don't feel like I have an answer to what this thing was. My best guess at this point is that nightmares aren't coincidental and that it is something that is interdimensional. It seems like it can interact with physical things around it, but I've never heard anyone tell firsthand of being physically attacked or even touched. I've speculated on what it could be for hours, and the only conclusion I've come up to is that I don't feel like I have an actual concrete answer. It doesn't exactly fit into a cryptid category that I have ever heard. It may be something entirely different. Thank you for allowing me to share. I think they hit it off right from the start. I think they hit it off right from the start that interdimensional. What's up, Mab Investigates? How are you? Just trying to read. Nope, salty Christian. I don't smoke. I got 8 years in sobriety. It's tobacco. Lot lizards are not smelly or ugly, Robert Sharp. You've just had a bad time with a bad one. I don't know where Jane is. I know she was kind of feeling kind of under the weather. I'll check in a minute. I mean, some lot lizards are clean and like to present themselves as a clean cryptid. It just depends on what state, what truck stop, if they're allergic to water and toothpaste. What's up, Mr. Anderson? How are you, buddy? Yeah, I've heard of Bigfoot in Everglades. Yes, 100%. I'm feeling great, Claire Harris. Thank you for asking. What's up, Monty? How are you? Alan Howell, how are you, brother? Yeah, if a lot lizard exfoliates, you are going to have yourself a good evening. Providing she is not venomous or toxic. In the majority of them are. All right. Black-eyed kids. I got a couple of... What's up, Tyler Marshall? How are you, dearie? I got a couple of smaller experiences that I combined together just to kind of break the monotony of long ones. That's what she said. Anyway, black-eyed kids invited in. A couple of years ago, I had an incident where I had an encounter with a black-eyed child in my townhouse. I woke up in the middle of the night and I looked out the door of my bedroom and there was a black-eyed child standing there in pajamas, very malnourished, reaching out, crying for help. I said, if you need help, you got to come in here. And he kept crying and he said, I can't come in. The man won't let me. Well, I said, I'm not coming out the door. You got to come in here. If you need help that bad, you got to come in. And he would not move. He just kept crying. And I was not going to deal with that, so I just rolled over and went back to sleep. I didn't want to deal with that. He was in my townhouse already, but He would not come into my bedroom. He stood outside my door of my bedroom crying for help. I thought it was a ghost at first, and I am now freaked out. I don't know why I rolled back over and went to bed. I think they were having a sleep paralysis dream, because who the fuck is going to lie in bed? You're lying in bed. They're like this. One thumb in their mouth, one thumb in their ass, and a black-eyed kid is standing outside of your bedroom door saying, help me, and you're going to say, come in? Fuck you. Are you kidding me? Like, what? What's up, Tattoo Patriot? How are you? Like, and secondly, here's the thing. Here's another thing. Why are you, like, don't you think it's a little weird that a kid's in your house in PJs and you're telling me to come into your bedroom? I think you're the creature, and that's something else. Thank you, the mighty Thor. Right on, 59th. What's up, Wolf Moose Bear? Yeah, imagine. Ooh, that's fucking creepy. That is creepy. Imagine being a bus driver and you're driving your bus and you look in the mirror and there's a whole rack of fucking black-eyed kids behind you. Ha. What's up, Stephen Lynch? Flat Earth, Buffalo, New York. God bless you, Stephen Lynch. God bless you. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, Ermic. It's a little bit weird. Come on in. I was attacked by a lot lizard and 2 black-eyed kids. So you were attacked by a truck stop prostitute and 2 black-eyed kids? Were they their children? Not were the black-eyed kids the lot lizard's children? That's a whole good one. You're streaming on Flat Earth, Buffalo, New York. Yeah, maybe the lot lizard had black-eyed children. Who knows? We can never. It's a weird time. We don't know. Chewy Weather. That's a cool name. I like that. Chewy Weather. Eremic is awesome. I got to find an encounter for Eremic right now. Eremic loves Mothman experiences, and here one is. This is dedicated to Eremic right here. Eremic, thank you for blessing the channel, and thank you for blessing. Maybe they're her pimp. Oh, here we go. Eremic, this one's for you, my friend. This took place in 2010. I was living in Hamilton, Montana with my current girlfriend. It was late at night, and my friend and I would always go for a drive. We parked at an empty parking lot outside of a gym that was on the outskirts of town. My friend had his medical marijuana card, and he would smoke while talking about random shit. We worked together. Workplace drama was the usual discussion. After we were done hanging out, I started the car and headed back to town. We started heading toward the outlet to take us right onto the main street. I was about 50 feet from that outlet when I decided the mood called for some loud music. Genre was rap, and I can't for the life of me remember what song it was playing right at the moment. To give you an idea as to what our field of view was, the outlet had 2 white fences on each side that spanned the property. It was one of those fences that had 2 logs with spaces between them, so vision was partially blocked on the right and left side. Granted, it was pretty damn dark. That's when shit hit the fan. Out of the corner of my eye, I see what appeared to be a dusty brown ball of plastic or garbage that rolled into view from the other side of the right fence. We were driving closer as this was happening, but as soon as I got a better look, I knew this was not a piece of garbage blowing in the wind. I immediately realized that this was a winged, flesh-like creature that appeared to have crash landed during flight. I thought my eyes were deceiving me, and I immediately turned to my friend, who let out one of the most blood-curdling screams I'd ever heard in my entire life. I kept looking at him and looking back at this thing. My friend was so scared, he flew his legs into the air up against the passenger window and windshield, as if that would shield him from this creature we were approaching. I kept repeating, "What is that? What is that?" As soon as the creature came to its senses, it planted its feet and took off, flying in the opposite direction of my car. At this point, I stopped the car, and all I remember is heavy breathing from both my friend and I, from adrenaline, nothing else, as we watched the silhouette of this thing fly away. The wingspan of this creature was at least 6 to 8 feet in width. It seemed to have webbing like a bat, no feathers. We watched it until it was not visible, which took a good while. Montana still has a decent amount of light pollution, and we could see the contrast of this creature in the sky for 2 to 3 minutes before it disappeared. I remember my friend telling me, "Please just take me home." We took off, heading back into town. I just kept asking, "What was that? What was that?" I don't think there were more than a few words spoken between us at that point. I just kept asking those same 3 words. And he would respond with, "I don't fucking know, man." I dropped him off. I went home and told my girlfriend, who was laughing at how animated and serious I was when telling her what happened. The next day, I woke up and immediately called him. I asked him, "What did you see?" I wanted him to tell me first so that what I had to say did not influence him or his recollection of the creature. He told me it was a flesh-like creature. It was not a bird. It did not have feathers. I asked him what color was it. He told me brownish, and I said, "Sort of gray?" He said, "Oh my God, yes." I no longer talk to this friend as he slipped into an unfortunate issue of prescription pills. I wish we still had a friendship, as I wanted to talk to him about this event since it happened. We both saw the same thing. We both nearly shit our pants. I am the type of person to laugh in the face of a ghost or paranormal stuff. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. I still to this day cannot explain what I saw. I still get chills when thinking about my friend's scream. The way I describe this thing is gigantic bat/humanoid with wings. There is not one feather on this flying creature. I mention this because anyone I tell this tells me I probably saw a bird of some sort. I remember this creature being slightly hairy. My theory as to why it was rolling around on the ground as if it crash landed out of the sky, I think my subwoofer sound system might have messed with its navigation, and that is another reason I feel it might have looked like a gigantic bat. This is by far the craziest experience I've ever had. Anyway, can anyone tell me what I may have seen? Well, you just answered it. Edit. It might be worth mentioning Rocky Mountain Labs is in Hamilton, Montana. This is one of the highest security labs in the world. My ex-boss's ex-husband works there, and the only thing she knew about his job was that they took care of animals. The deadliest diseases are held in this lab, and there are monkeys and other animals that are used for testing. MJ Richards, how are you? Margie, how are you? Evening all. Truth Quest, I don't know if I said hi to you. Andy Davis, what's going on, brother? Chrissy, I'm doing well. How are you? I do a werewolf story almost every day, Mike Greg. But the live stream is a mixture of different things. Hey, Kathy Hayes, how are you? Van from Thailand, how are you, brother or sister? I don't know. But how are you? Thank you for joining us all the way from Thailand. I hope it's a beautiful day for you. Bobby, what's up? How are you? My chat screen is a blacked out. It's not blacked out here. Nicole Clark, how are you? Yes, Nicole, that was funny. I emailed you back saying it was funny. Charlotte, how are you? Did I email you back, Charlotte? If I did, I didn't. If I didn't, I did. I know, Aramik, I know that you still have a hard time buying into the Mothman whole thing, and I can't blame you. But I know that you like them, and I'm just gonna keep hitting you with them because eventually, maybe, or maybe you'll have your own Mothman encounter. I just hope it doesn't bring you up into the air and do bad things, like milk your prostate or something. What's up, Vang? How are you, brother? Poppy, how are you? I am hungrier than a. Oh my God, Larry Lindman. Oh, I've been saying I got to go on a diet, but I can't. I cannot stop. Like, I just can't, and I need to. Sonny, the wandering gypsy, I'm glad that you're here with us. I want to see London too. Ooh, brownies. I like brownies. Actually, before I did the live stream, I had 2 peanut butter and fluff sandwiches. I don't even know why. I wasn't even hungry. I was bored. It's probably a test. And I failed miserably. Are you still? Yes. Apple Jacks Pop Tarts. That will be right before bed. Peanut butter and fluff. Peanut butter and fluff. I was on a diet 2 weeks ago and gained 5 pounds. You know, I lost like maybe 5 pounds, but I gained 10 back. All right, Charlotte, I will respond to you. I would like if I can't respond like and read it fully, I'll just say I got your email. Thank you. I'll get back to you. Now that we have more people in the live stream, I want to show you Zilla's birthday present. Look at this thing. Zilla, you crazy. I want to get it out of the fucking, I don't know. Can you guys see it? You guys can see my face more. There you go. Look how freaking awesome that is. Thank you, Zilla. Now I'm hanging it up after the live stream. I cannot wait. Here's something for all of my subscribers from down under. And it's not a Vegemite sandwich. This is a Tiger Man experience out of Queensland. I've encountered a Catman humanoid being in the woods of northern Queensland, Australia. I was working at a security detention center in a place called Weipa up there. It's absolutely vast land. There is wood stretching for miles and miles. It was about 3 a.m. in the morning when the encounter occurred. There were 4 security posts around the fence line, which we had to man and make sure none of the detainees escaped. I was stationed at Zulu 3 post, which was situated behind the detention center. where the 7 Lebanese detainees escaped 3 months before I started working there. It was 3 a.m. and I'm sitting in my post watching a kookaburra bird swoop down from the top of the fence into the grass and collect bugs and lizards when I hear a crash in the woods behind my post. This caused all the occupying kookaburra birds to wake up and call. There were thousands of them up there in northern Queensland. I quickly got up and ran to see what the commotion was about. Is when I saw what the birds were hacking about. It was a humanoid cat standing 2 meters behind my post. It was making its way through the trees until it saw me standing there watching. It stopped and put both its hands up, which looked like long claws. It stood maybe 8 feet tall. I was trying to see what it looked like through the darkness, but all I could see was the shape of a cat's like head. It looked like a tiger. Honestly, it looked ferocious, and it was built like it was made to do serious damage. Standing on its hind legs, it then walked backwards into the woods and vanished into the darkness. I was so glad I had a 40-foot fence between me and it. For the remainder of my time working there, I kept my back faced toward the detention center and my front facing the woods. This encounter is one I will take to my grave. Michael Powderly, I'm glad that you're here with us. Is Gravity fucking Cheeseburger here? What's up, Gravity fucking Cheeseburger? Jeremiah Israel, what's going on? Fluff? All right. Firehorse. Fluff is marshmallow. You got by it in a tub, and it's marshmallow, but it's not marshmallow. It is and it isn't marshmallow. You can't cook it on a fire. Well, maybe you can, but it's marshmallow. Is it music time? I think it's music time. Oh, can you see the moon? No, you can't see the moon from there. This is $20. My fucking neighbors hate me. Boom Squad, what's going on, brother? That's a very interesting question, Marge. Marge just asked a very interesting question. I wonder if they took lead out of paint so they can see inside of your house. Very interesting. Yeah, the moon does look beautiful tonight. Vacuum my driveway. That would be fucking great. My dad's neighbor, my dad's neighbor, my dad hates this man. Okay. So they've lived next to each other for 50 years. My dad grew up in the house that they live in now. And when Louis, his name's Louis, moved in next door, which was like, I don't know, a long time ago, him and my dad, they have a grass war. So whose ever lawn is better, like they fight over their lawn, and their lawns touch, right? My dad nearly killed this poor man because he was out with his shop vacuuming the edging of his driveway. So the guy edged his driveway, took his shop vac out and edged it. and then vacuumed the edging up. My dad called that man some names that I don't think people should call people. They were very bad. Like, I'm like, Dad, why is that man that now? I'm like, what's going on? Why are you saying that? My mom's like, and he was saying it to his face. That's the thing. DMN Apache. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Big fan from New Mexico. I'm a big fan of New Mexico. We have something in common. I love New Mexico. You're a fan of me. I don't know how you are, but because if I saw this channel, I'd be like, that guy's an asshole. The guy, I don't understand. He's a nice guy, too. He's a really nice guy. Like when my dad was in the hospital for those 7 months, he came up to me. I was snow blowing the driveway, and they have a fire hydrant that's in between their house and my parents' house. So I clean it out, and he'll clean it out. My dad usually does, and he usually does, but because my dad is in the hospital. So I'm cleaning it out, making sure the fire station can get to it if there's ever a fire. And the poor guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, Jeff, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good." And he goes, "How's your dad?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, he's still got dementia." And this is during the time period that my dad thought Zelensky had kidnapped him, and he was with a Russian prostitute. So my dad was really fucked up at that time. And he goes, "Well, I hope that he gets better, even though me and your dad have had, our hard times and liking each other. I really can't imagine anything happening to your dad." Right. And I'm like, "Oh, that's really nice." Right. My dad gets better. And I tell him this. I'm like, "Dad, listen to what Louis said." And I tell him, and my dad's response was, "Fuck him." Fuck him. Couldn't believe it. I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, Caden. Do you? I know. The poor guy. I know. My dad's like, he just doesn't give a crap. And then, okay, so my dad, like I said, I'm taking my dad's truck. He's got a 71 K20, four-wheel drive, 8-foot bed Chevy pickup, fully restored. I'm taking it on Monday on my birthday for a little bit. This guy's got like a 1981 Dodge Dakota, 2-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive that he likes. He like restored it, right? My dad calls it his Barbie truck. And I'm like, dude, like this guy has never done anything to you, Dad. Never. Anything. Fucking Barbie truck. What a jerk. Fuck him, he says. Anyway. My son, when he was around 5 or 7 years old, told me that he was in his room when he had been visited by a kid-like being who played with him until the being's mother or entity called it home. Honest to God, my son never lies, and I do believe him. In 1986, before this happened, I was taking a photo of the sunset outside of the living room. Exhorter, thank you so much. Appreciate you. I was taking a photo of the sunset outside of my living room window, and I got some ovular orbs in the camera from a series of photos. Blink and then they're gone. Tried many times to duplicate it or have unknown show up in the sunrise pictures. My son's encounter took place in Downey, California, probably 92 to 94. I just asked him, and he said that the guy or child was wearing a yellow jumpsuit, and his mother was very loud when she came to get him. My son said he wondered if he somehow made the being angry. From his cue, she was booming loud. My son, like I said, was somewhere between 5 to 7 at the time. On Downey Avenue near Florence, he had another encounter in our old apartment in his room, which was quiet. I might have been at work. I hate answering comments, so I hope you enjoyed this. 3 small creatures. 38 years ago, my mom's best friend, and her twin sons, who were my best friends, all saw 3 small, long-armed, 3.5-foot creatures. Then, when I ran down to see them with the twins while our moms were yelling at us to come back, we got 10 to 15 feet away from them before they turned around, ran, and jumped over the tree line, which at the time was 8 to 10 feet tall. All 3 of us got the beatings of our lives for not listening. My mom called the cops, and they wrote down everything we told them. My mom asked if they were going to look for them in the wooded area, and the cops said, no, hell no. They were scared just as much as we were. I know what we saw. So, this brings me to this. The other day, I had talked about Aleister Crowley and how he had a creature named Lem, and its head resembled a tick, right? I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but that is Lem right here. That is a regular alien picture. That is a demon. This is the demon Crowley was summoning. That is a regular alien. This is what I wanted to share. There's also a visual similarity between alien grays and a recently revealed demon. An investigator, Daniel Bodillin, pointed out. I first became curious about a possible connection between gray aliens of popular UFO culture and the activities of certain occultists after seeing several UFO investigator Ray Flower books on the recommended reading list of Satanic website. For what reason would a UFO book be included in the curriculum of a Satanic group? And why Ray's book in particular? Aleister Crowley, 1875 to 1947, was one of the most notorious occultists of his day, and perhaps of modern time. Self-styled as a Beast 666, he went out of his way to live up to it with his sensationalism and self-promotion. In January through March of 1918, Crowley began a series of magical workings with the intent to invoke certain intelligence to physical manifestations. At least one such intelligence was brought into the physical manifestation via a magical portal they created. This entity called itself Lem, or was named Lem by Crowley. Either way, he considered it to be an interdimensional origin, which was the term for extraterrestrial. Gray aliens are Lem and were contacted via a magical ritual by Aleister Crowley. The remarkable similarity between the demon Lem that Satanists have attempted to summon and gray aliens that many abductees claim to have seen suggests the 2 creatures are both demonic in nature. Not surprising, some Native American experiences and stories of little creatures also bear an uncomfortable resemblance to the gray alien as well. The Ojibwe, Algonquin, Ottawa, Cree, Métis, Inuit all have stories about a Mimagegwisi, which lives in a river's bed near the water. described as a child-sized, hairy creature with large head, narrow face, large eyes, no nose, with a voice that whines like dragonflies. The creatures carve symbols into rocks. The gray-skinned creatures are said to have neither gills nor lungs, instead breathing through their skin. The Cree believe that these creatures communicate telepathically. And then it says something about like the Dover demon. Now, if you guys remember what the Dover demon looks like, these are better. These are better. What the Dover demon looks like is it resembles a gray-like alien, but no one ever seen or saw it or them come out of a UFO. Why are these glowing? Come out of a UFO. They just seem to be. So I really am starting to agree with Stephen Quayle and the other researchers that these alien grays might be some sort of demonic creature that comes out of portals. I don't know. What's up, Brian Cook? How are you? Derek Crowley. I didn't mean to talk about your uncle. Yes, Robert Sharp is Rascal's owner. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I have a couple of Crowley's books, like Diary of a Heroin Addict is one of them, and then a couple other ones downstairs. They're pretty interesting. Pretty fucking weird though. Let's see. Zilla, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you. All right, that's the lot lizard. That's all right. I'm sweating my ass off, so I got to open my window for a minute. Oh. All right. Oh, fuck. My eye sockets start to sweat. Oh, my hair's getting thick. There we go. The alien grays are butt pirates. Yeah, Tucker believes in the alien grays. Tucker also believes that that like there's a battle of good and evil going on right now, which I do agree wholeheartedly. SL Dozer, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel knowledgeable and sophisticated. Yeah, Tucker's dad worked for the CIA, I believe. But it makes sense, like these alien grays would be demonic, right? I mean, they're always kidnapping people. They're always sticking things in people's asses. Like, I mean, come on. Doesn't get any more sinister than that, especially if they don't want something shoved in their booter at the time. Okay. One night about 10 years ago, myself and my best friend decided to stop by a local hangout of ours in Bowie, Maryland to smoke a cigarette before he dropped me off home. We grew up here and spent our early years wandering the railroad tracks and woods, smoking and drinking as children do. So this one spot is a railroad overpass at 450 and 197. There's a parking lot and a small area of grass and trees. About a 30-foot strip of land separating the tracks and the lot. So it's nighttime, and we decide to go there and have a cigarette. We go on the tracks, and we are facing the parking lot. So the overpass is to our left, and the tracks go on for our right. This way, we are barely in the glow of the yellow parking lot lights. Now we are smoking, and he's talking, but the entire time I'm focused to my right, peering down the tracks because I have a strange feeling. I don't know what it was until later, and it was the feeling of being watched by a predator, which I had never experienced before. After a couple of minutes, we're almost done with our cigarettes. A helicopter flies right above us, seemingly at tree level, with a spotlight briefly going over us, coming from the direction of the overpass. Not 5 seconds later, I hear gravel shift from between the tracks, and I look toward the overpass. Standing right in the center of the overpass, there's a giant silhouette. Now, since it's dark and it's under the overpass, I can't see its total silhouette, but it's about 8 to 9 feet in height and burly looking. It appeared as if its head was attached to its torso, completely bypassing any semblance of a neck, the way super jacked dudes look. It was huge, and we only looked at it for a few seconds before I was like, let's go now. We hurriedly started rushing away, and we hear the gravel move closer. And not 3 seconds later, we both hear the most demonic, horrifying, multiple pitched screech literally right behind us. It came from no more than a foot behind us, so of course we book it back to his car. And no, we did not look back because, are you fucking kidding me? Get real. We got to his car, and the funny thing was, his lanyard got stuck around the steering wheel. And when he pulled out his keys, he pulled out the ignition as he turned the steering wheel. Anyway, we drove around for an hour. Only thing we could say is, what the fuck was that? That was my experience with what I believe to be the Maryland Goatman. Now, a week later, we are hanging out with our friend. We'll call him Andy. Andy has spent a lot of time in the woods, and he's telling us about last week. The cops were out in the woods because they heard screams and thought a woman was being hurt. Now, I asked him if they had helicopters out, and he said yes. And I asked him what day it was. It was the same day that we had our experience. So I told him about our experience. And he said, yeah, I believe it is the Maryland Goatman. I've spoken to a few others who have actually seen the Maryland Goatman and give a similar description as mine. 5 rings. What's up? We lost terribly tonight, didn't we? 10-1. Ha-ha, 10-1. I don't know why it's so hot in my house tonight. I always get hot and bothered when I do these live streams. What's up, Truth in Christ? How are you? IDEM MIDI, how are you? Oh my God, it was terrible, right, brother? It's chilly in Guilford, New York. Where is Guilford? Where's Guilford, New York from Glens Falls? Guilford? I got to figure out where Guilford is. It's 63 here, but it's hot in my house. Jersey, thank you. How are you? Yes, it is. 100%. I agree. Thank you. What is going on with my phone? Why is my Google not working? What the fuck? Restart. Whew. Holy shit, I'm hot. Jersey, once again, thank you, dearie. Appreciate you. Liz, how are you? Liz, you don't ever have to send me an email asking if I'm mad at you. I love you. You know I'm not going to be mad at you, dear. Actually, I just pulled out 2 of the books that I got from you as a gift, and I was using as props for tonight. Fuck, I'm hot. God damn. What's up, William Menendez? How are you, brother? Yeah, I'm gonna text Jane in a minute. I don't know why it's so hot in here. My glasses are getting foggy. It's not hot outside. It's 63 out. All right, hopefully it'll work now. What the fuck is going on with my phone? I want to look up where Guilford is. Hot. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Tyler, your Google's not working? Tyler? Go Braves. Oh, God, George. Tigger is sleeping on the couch right now. Google is having issues last 30 minutes. Oh, so it's not just me. Okay. I thought it was me. Yeah, because my phone, like, it keeps doing nothing, but everything else is working. Just nothing. Ellen Howell, thank you so much. I got a lot lizard experience for us right here. Here we go. Jersey, thank you for telling me that. I would have literally gone crazy all night being like, why isn't my Google working? Peace and love. Oh, thank you, 30 pack. I appreciate you. What's up? What's up, Clyde? How are you, buddy? All right. This story is fiction. It is not real. A lot lizard story on the channel is always fiction. Here we go. At the edge, I got to put a hat on. Ugh. God damn it. My fucking chair went up my ass. Ugh. There we go. That'll stop the sweats. All right. At the edge of dusty pines, an obscure truck stop thrived in the fringes of Route 666, renowned in hushed whispers for 2 things: the greasy diner that served the world's best bacon-wrapped hot dog, and a notorious cryptid that was the stuff of legends. The locals referred to her as Lola, the lot lizard werewolf. Lola was not your average truck stop prostitute. She had a reputation that swerved sharply between humor and horror, with wild, unkept hair cascading past her shoulders and a smile that might charm the coins right out of your pocket. She was beloved by truckers and feared by some. It was said that during the full moon, she transformed from a cheeky, fast-talking dame into a hulking, fur-coated beast, prowling the lot after dark. One muggy evening, a driver named Hank, a veteran long-haul trucker with a penchant for tall tales, rolled into the lot. He stepped out of his rig, shaking off the fatigue of the road, ready for a break. The neon lights flickered overhead while the faint smell of fried food floated over the diner. But Hank was more interested in spending some time with the infamous Lola. "Hey there, big boy," Lola called out with her voice playful and sweet, like syrup dripping off a warm pancake. She leaned against the battered pickup. A knowing smile curled her lips. "You looking for an unforgettable time?" "Oh, I'm looking for some company, all right," Hank chuckled, winking as he approached. "What do you have in mind?" With a smirk, Lola grabbed a piece of beef jerky from her pocket, nonchalantly tossing it to a gathering of intrigued raccoons watching from the shadows. "How about a ghost story? Or maybe a midnight sprint to the diner for a couple of those hot dogs?" But Hank wasn't in the mood for food. He wanted the real deal, the tales that surrounded Lola and her moonlit transformations. He had heard stories of lost souls who wandered too far down Route 666 to not return. "Tell me about that werewolf thing," he said, itching for a good scare to spice up his night. Lola's eyes sparkled with mischief. "You mean my moonlit dance? I'm just an ordinary girl, out here making a living. But when the clock strikes 11, things get hairy." Hank laughed. "I doubt a cute thing like you can scare anyone." "Oh, really?" she quipped, tossing her hair back dramatically. "Ever seen a werewolf with a penchant for the dramatic? You'll laugh yourself silly before you run for your life." With the moon climbing high, Hank found himself warming up to her so-called lycanthropic charm. They traded jokes and roared with laughter. But when the clock struck 11, the laughter abruptly ceased as Lola's demeanor shifted. "Whoops, here we go," she cackled, her eyes glinting in the moonlit silver. She twirled around as she performed an elaborate dance. Her body rippled, fur sprouting almost instantaneously, her playful demeanor morphing into something more primal. "Hang on, Hank, this is the best part." And before he could react, she let out a howl that echoed through the night, rattling the windows of the diner and sending the raccoons scurrying for cover. Instead of terror, Hank found himself doubled over with laughter. "You're kidding. This can't be real." With a triumphant leap, the half woman, half wolf gave an exaggerated performance, howling and prancing around a lot like a drunken ballerina. "I told you I'm a showstopper," she bellowed. She bounded up to Hank, who was now holding his sides, laughing hysterically. "But seriously, Hank, you better watch out. Next time I might actually bite." "Bite me? Oh, please. The only thing you're good at making is making me laugh." He managed to get out before. As the night wore on, Lola and her werewolf antics turned a formerly stoic truck stop into the stage of an unending laughter. Hank found himself enchanted with this wild creature. He realized that he hadn't just met a cryptid, he had embraced the unexpected joy of the road. As dawn broke, Lola returned to her human form, panting and grinning wildly. "I told you I was one in a million. Who else can make prostitutes a sideshow?" "I never met anyone like you," Hank admitted, still trying to catch his breath. "And that was the best show I'd ever seen at a truck stop." "I'm always here, darling," she winked, "as long as the bacon-wrapped weenies keep coming." With a hearty laugh, Hank got back into his rig, his heart light and spirits high as he rolled away. Forever changed by the night he encountered a funny, scary lot lizard werewolf. The world may have its cryptids, but Dusty Pines has something special. One unforgettable moonlit ride with a gal who can do it all. Oh, Hank is always looking for something. Fucking Hank. Is Google working yet? Keep your phone running. Google is crashing. I don't even know why it's crashing like that. I want to use Google, cocksuckers. Whew. My window isn't open. God damn it. This whole time I thought my fucking window was open. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to make some Lot Lizard t-shirts, I think. Did I close it? I don't know why. No, Google's crashing completely. Is everybody else's Google still crashing? Like, go to your phone and click on Google. "30 miles west of Oneida." Okay. Mine works. Yup. Glenn, yours is crashing. Google in Australia is working, but YouTube is glitchy. Crashed. Yeah, it's weird, man. That's strange. Everything else is working. Gmail's working. That's weird. That's really weird. Google. Maybe I'll turn that off. "4G. Well, I guess we're Google-less. Crashed in Vegas. And his is down. No shit. It's the Russians again. Google is working in West Virginia. That's weird. Google here in North Carolina. My Google bar on my phone keeps crashing. Yeah. Or China TikTok. Goddamn China TikTok. Actually, I'm getting it in September. Glenn. Getting it September. What's up, Lily Lewis? How are you, dear? Google's okay in the UK. Fort Bragg, always on election year. Something crazy happens. Working. Michigan is down. People don't follow right there. Yeah. Incognito worked to look up a Lot Lizard werewolf. That's fucking great. I don't know, Mike Greg. I almost cut my hair off too, Firehorse. I almost chopped it the other day. I'm glad I didn't. Damn it, it's hot in here. My YouTube keeps going out. Oh, Jesus. R.I.P. Frankie Beverly of Mays. What's up, Corey Cole? How are you, buddy? No, I don't need a Giants hat. I've been a Dodgers fan since I was a little kid. I don't know, Crazy Backyard Chicken Man. I don't know. We can't figure it out. My YouTube is cutting in and out. My YouTube's working great. My Google isn't. This one's dedicated to Aramik. Hi there. I walk 2 dogs every night in spring, summer, and fall. We take the same route all the time. This past spring, I witnessed a winged humanoid. It started off in a tree behind the house we were walking past. What made me look was my dog was extremely fearful and wanted to go across the street. She's a pit bull. So once I saw it up in the tree was a good distance away. I decided we should walk faster. When we got down the end of the street, I looked back and the winged creature was on top of a house, staring at us. So I scooped up my smaller dog and hurried to my house. Suddenly, a bunch of birds at my neighbor's house took flight. So I looked at my neighbor's house and looked up at their roof, and the creature was staring at us. It seemed to be only 5 feet in height, but black in color. I then ran to my door because obviously this thing's following us. I have not seen it since, but I do keep watch on my pit bull to see if she acts fearful again. I looked all over the internet after we saw it because I wanted to report it to somebody, but didn't find anywhere that I could. Anyway, I did on Reddit. The dogs were acting up and looking in the direction of the large tree in the neighbor's yard. The pitty was cowering from fear, which is very unusual. This past June, I saw a similar creature, though slightly different. It was a winged humanoid on the roof of my house. Same description as before, but the eyes were glowing green. They weren't glowing last time. This is the last time I've ever seen a creature like this. My housemates hear a shrill screeching sound outside periodically. It'll be up. It'll be fine tomorrow. Google will be back. Back in 1979, we owned a ranch that was about 80 miles away from Abilene. I was living on the ranch at the time. We had documented worker who was with us in a very remote area of Mexico. He was very much out in the middle of nowhere to start with, no transportation, so he had to walk 30 miles to get close to Presidio, and we'd go pick him up at the border. Presidio was not too far away from the Marfa Light area, but this area he was walking through was very much desert terrain. And I remember it was in December around holiday time. Kids. Okay. It was around December time. The weather was not cold and it was kind of hot still. Anyway, back to the experience. We were building a fence and we are talking and everything. And he was telling us about, I asked him about the chupacabra. And he's talking and said, one time, he was telling me in Spanish, one time I was walking and he said a strange person appeared out of nowhere. There was a little bit of moonlight. He could see where he was going. He was trying his best to describe the guy. He said, talking about his, I said, what did he wear? And he was trying to tell me what the guy had on. He said, I couldn't see his face. He had something over his head. I asked, was it a sombrero? He said, no. It turned out he described it was a hoodie. But that was, a long time ago. Hoodies are still popular, but he was telling me about this person and he was hard to understand. So isn't this person? What the fuck? That's stupid. Sorry, guys. Jesus Christ, they're all over the fucking place. All right, here we go. What's up, Squatchin' Grandma? How are you? This occurred at Mount Lesson National Park in Northern California in 1973. I was camping out with 6 other friends. We were up there spending a night on the volcano on Mount Lesson. It was getting dark, and one of my friends that was in our group said, "Hey, I'm going to walk around." I didn't know these 5 other boys real well. We were friends in high school. Well, I said, "That's not a good idea. You don't really want to go walking out here because there's lots of timber and it's pitch black. You could walk off a cliff and die." Anyway, this kid takes off. We got a fire going and it's starting to get dark. I tell the other guys, "Somebody's got to go and get him. Bring him back. He's going to get hurt." And no one did a thing. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for somebody to get up and go after the kid. No one did. So I said, "Well, I'm going to go out and try to find him." So I take off on his trail and I'm walking along. I'm yelling his name and no response, nothing. Then all of a sudden I hear a scream, the scream of a huge creature. And it was like nothing I had ever heard before. It wasn't just one yell. It's actually kind of hard to put into words. What was strange was this creature or animal, I could see it. There was a small gully and it was standing on the other side of the gully. And this screech, it was guttural. You could tell that it was a huge animal / creature by how low and deep it was. Strange thing was that it sounded like it was literally right next to my ear. It was bizarre. Anyway, this thing screamed again. It yelled. It was hard to put into words, so I looked across the gully and then couldn't see it. Again, it was low light, but I could see the creature. At one point, I didn't know what it was. I had never heard of Bigfoot. So this creature / animal was a standing humanoid. 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, dark fur, and screaming. And it was close to me. It was probably only 50 yards away. There was a deep gully between us. Anyway, the scream comes out and I'm frozen in my tracks. Well, the kid that I'm looking for comes running past me. And he's running back to the campfire and doesn't say a word to me. He just ran straight past me. So I turn around and start running back too. I'm scared. Well, what happened was there was another kid who took off to help me follow me behind me. I ran into him on the trail, yelled at him. I slowed down. I told him to run, just run. And I basically just kept going. Yeah, right. You guys are playing a game, whatever, basically. We all 3 of us made it back and sat around at the campfire the rest of the night, frightened and scared. Well, I thought this may have been a man in some kind of suit, maybe. Next morning, I said, "We got to get a hold of the rangers, the Mount Lesson Park Rangers," and we did. I was one of the older kids in the group. I said to the ranger, "Hey, someone was out here. He could have killed us. He could have gotten somebody killed." I described what we saw, and it screamed. The ranger got a serious look on his face, got up from his desk, walked closer to me, and whispered into my ear, "Young man, that was a Bigfoot." That was the last time I ever went camping at Mount Lesson in California. God damn, I'm fucking hot. I'm trying to catch it. It won't work. Mine's still out too. It's fucking crazy. They mailed you a photo. I just got that. I just looked at that because my emails are working fine. Just my Google's not. Fossilized giant finger. I saw that. There was a lady in an old. There was an older woman and an older guy who I guess have a museum of artifacts they had found of giants. I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Unknown humanoids injure a person near Deming, New Mexico. Amid the strong light, she observed two figures of average height wearing blue coveralls. The costume was very large, with wide belts, gloves, and dark boots. On their heads was a case with dark visors. The humanoids were not concerned by the presence of the woman. They were repairing or working under an artifact that emitted a blue light while talking to each other. They seemed rigid in their movements. Patty Morris, a researcher, said the woman believed they had hit the artifact with their vehicle as it was in the middle of the road. They also speculate that the light of the device was used to avoid an accident. The two women had burning sharp pains in their chest and arms after the encounter on the road. Interestingly, the husband of Mrs. McFay, Mike Rogers, is the brother of one of the witnesses of the famous Travis Walton case. During the course of the investigation of the Walton case, field investigator Raymond Jordan obtained a lead on a possible occupant report of the Deming, New Mexico, dating back to 1972. The case was turned over to field investigator Patty Morris, who submits the following report and accompanied a sketch. On a clear but dark summer evening in June of 1972, exact day is uncertain, Miss Hilda McFay and her older mother were on their way home by car from Las Cruces, New Mexico, to Deming. Interstate 10 was relatively devoid of traffic. As they clipped along at about 65 miles an hour, heading west at about 23 miles east of Deming, the evening was disrupted by a beam of blue light which had shone down on them from what seemed to be a short distance straight ahead and emanating from the same lane in which they were driving on. The light was huge and blinding, and Miss McPhee prepared to swerve around an object on the ground just ahead. As she pulled around the object, the two women were within viewing distance of two men bathed in a blue, brilliant light, but only gathered a quick view of them. They appeared to be average height with a rather stocky body. They were clad in blue, pale, bulky quilted coveralls. Miss McAfee's mother notes that they were wearing wide belts, which matched their coveralls and gloves, with no insignias. Miss McAfee said they were wearing dark boots, which reached mid-calf. Both agreed that the men were identically dressed and wore helmets similar in appearance by those on motorcycles, including a visor which concealed their facial features. The figures appeared rigid and not aware of, or if so, unconcerned about the presence of the two women. One had his back turned toward the women and seemed to be working on something connected with the object located above them, while the other was turned sideways facing them and appeared to be talking to his companion. Both were standing flat on the pavement, either beside or underneath the presumed object and the blue light which shone down on them from a point somewhere above. At the same time, the beam of light, which had been focused on the two women, was still glaring at them and followed the car as it drove around the men and the object. Also noted were two black rods estimated to be 4 to 5 inches wide located near the men. No details were noted. The entire object was described as being obscure and no sound was heard. Only lights visible were the light from above and the spotlight, and the object was vaguely discerned as about the size of a truck sitting high off the ground. Miss McAfee said she was uncertain, but they must have passed partially underneath the object in their attempt to avoid hitting it. After they passed the men in the object, the women looked back, but all was dark and no trace was seen. They later speculated that whatever it was had used the light to prevent the collision and turned it off after the women passed. Mrs. Morris concurred on this point as well. An odd aspect of this case is aftermath. Both women suffered a burning, aching pain in their chest and arms after the encounter, and even their bones seemed to hurt. Though the pain was caused by the light, which was so brilliant that it lit up the floorboards of the car and was much brighter than daylight, neither of the women had ever had a UFO experience before and were totally unaware of them. Field investigator Morris was very impressed with the sincerity of both women, who are eager to tell their experience. Miss McAfee is landlady to Mr. Rogers, Channy Rogers, who is the brother of Mike Rogers, one of the 6 eyewitnesses of the Travis Walton incident. It is because of the Walton incident that Mrs. McAfee and her mother decided to divulge their experience. Miss McAfee decided no one would laugh at them now. Other information about the site of McAfee incident: terrain, flat desert land, population sparsely settled, weather, clear, warm, air traffic not noticed, overall time of the sighting, 5 minutes, noise/odor, none. Note, Deming, New Mexico had another humanoid experience in 92. Here is it's described. 1992, April 12th, 11:20 p.m. The witness was driving US 180 along the desert and was listening to his CB radio when the radio suddenly went silent, and he vaguely noticed a patch of white light shining on the rise over the left side of the road. He then heard a voice in his head telling him to watch out for the smoke. Thinking it had been the CB radio, he replied, but there was no answer. Suddenly, what looked like a huge luminous cloud of smoke began stretching across the highway. It formed a solid curtain across the road. The witness drove into this grayish-white vapor for an hour. He stopped his vehicle and walked across the road into a ditch, but was still unable to see anything. He suddenly went into a state of paralysis and sensed the approach of 2 people. Each person got on either side of him and placed him in a firm grip in their forearm, placed a firm grip on his forearms. The beings had long, bony arms. He was then led to a shiny metallic object shaped like a flattened arc with rounded edges. The rectangular opening appeared on the side of the craft. Next, he remembers sitting back on a chair inside the object and feeling dizzy and numb. He was briefly alone, then the 2 beings entered the room. One being was male with a round ovular face with 2 large ovular black eyes. He was maybe 5 foot, thin torso and limbs. The second was a female similar to the male. The witness was then led to a dimly lit room and placed in a reclining position on the chair. He felt a buzzing sensation on his facial area and felt as if a small object was being introduced to his nose. He was then released and let outside and floated horizontally towards his vehicle. He resumed to drive, and the vapor-like fog quickly vanished. Fuck. Gigi, what's up? How are you? It is hot as hell in here. I don't know what's up. It is literally 63 degrees out. Montauk is awesome. I love the Montauk project. Andy, have a good night, my brother. Stay well. I'm glad that you're here with us. Gigi. Nope, my birthday's Monday. No, I felt great. I felt great all day. I'm just hot. I don't know why. Like I'm sweating. I'm literally sweating. Look at my hair. My hat's all sweat and gross. Rockin' steady, zip it. My T levels are a little high, probably. I'm breaking out lately, I noticed. I probably am going through menopause. Team Virgo. Right on, Black Queen Jacks. Yes, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, RH, I will be going live on my birthday. I have a good friend that lives near Montauk, and he's been to Camp Hero. Actually, he's been to the outskirts of Camp Hero. Thank you, Joseph Cannon. And I'm thinking about trying to get away for a couple of days to get down there. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'd like to do maybe do a live stream from there. Ugh. My hair looks so weird. I look like some kind of fucking weirdo. A diddler. Thank you, cowboy. Thank you. Oh, that was fucking gross. All right. This one's kind of weird. All right. Really weird. I didn't know how I felt about this, but it's fucking creepy either way. No, I've been kayaking, Mike. I've been kayaking. Just not as much as I want to. It's kind of been hot up here. Too hot to go kayaking because I don't like being hot out in the water. So I'm waiting for I'm waiting for late September, early fall. Yeah, Squatchin, you can look up the same answer he has on Montauk. There's websites that have that same stuff that you can read. You'd probably be better off reading about it. There's a website that is, well, it's a .net, but it's hard to find. You have to use a VPN to get to it. And I'll put it in the community post because it's kind of it's a weird, it's too hard to say because you got to spell it properly. And that gives you a ton of shit. I had something very unusual happen to me a few weeks back that I'm wondering if maybe in your years of investigation have you encountered or had reported. I was in a wildlife management area that is known for Bigfoot activity. Early one morning, just before I decided it was time to leave, that's when the odd event occurred. I had been in this research area of mine for over 2 hours and nothing unusual had happened. I pretty much knew coming into the WMA that I was alone. My tire tracks and inspecting all of the turnoffs told me no one was there, nor had been there in a day or so. Totally alone. I had parked in a small parking area in what is called the Long Bayou and had taken numerous photos and videos and had even performed a few Bigfoot calls with no results. There was no traffic at all on the road after all this time. No sounds of machinery or anything man-made whatsoever. I had walked a few yards out of the main road a half a dozen times or more, checking right then left, the way I had come in. And there was never a sign of anything or anyone, just the sounds of nature filling the air at this point. I decided to walk to the road one last time, film a little clip for my YouTube channel, and head for home. As I walked a few yards onto the road, things calmed down sound-wise with the insects, birds, and wildlife I had been hearing. It didn't stop altogether, but it diminished greatly. I reached the road, the camcorder still running, and me talking into it. I looked to my right, and I saw and heard nothing. As I swung the camera around to my left again, in that direction I had driven in, I saw something way down the road. Looking back, shook me up a little, if not a lot. About 300 yards or less in the middle of the road was a huge, dark black object that filled the middle of the road. It was tall, jet black, and had a square box-like shape to it. It was huge. Looking at my video that I had shot, you can now tell that I was unnerved. I honestly felt like I was looking at a big pickup truck blocking the road and that it was headed my way. Not knowing who it may be or what they may be up to made me trot to my SUV and chuck my gear into the back seat. This took me no more than 1 minute and a half, and I was looking out my driver's side window to my left, and there was nothing there. Absolutely nothing. I was stunned, to say the least. I felt that whomever it was should either be getting closer to me or at least still in view, yet there was nothing there. At first, I was kind of relieved, but that quickly changed. The hair on my back of my neck stood up, and I was now truly shook up. Something was feeling way off now. I pulled out into the road and headed back the way I came, and where this thing had been sitting. As I eased down the road, I stopped and checked what few turnoffs were there and found nothing. No tire tracks, no ATV tracks, nothing to tell me a vehicle of any type had been there. I made my way to the entrance exit of the WMA, dropped off my visitor slip, and looked back behind me. The only tire tracks coming in or out of the WMA were mine. I never encountered not the first human being the whole time. As I eased out and back onto the highway, I began to feel that perhaps I had seen something I wasn't supposed to have witnessed. It looked technological, machine-like. It didn't look humanoid or human-shaped, and I never heard any sound from it, no tires crunching, gravel, or engine noise. I remember the box-shaped object the Sherman family reported in their fields, cruising and floating around as if they were searching for something. Was this what I saw? The same thing the Sherman family saw on Skinwalker Ranch? Why and what in the world could it have been? Or was it merely a pickup truck after all? By this point and to this moment, it did not feel like a pickup truck. Remember, no tracks. And I also began to feel, and again at this moment, that I was fortunate I never got any closer to it. I still have no idea what I experienced that day, but I still have to question the reports that the Sherman family did have with the large box-shaped objects floating above their field, like I said, as if they were looking for something. Was this thing looking for me? I don't know. Rock City on Lookout Mountain. Is that where the golf ball thing is in Tennessee? What's up, No Merc? Is that there's like that golf ball fucking radar that the government owns that's in Tennessee. Is that on that Rock City? No, yes. I'd look it up, but I don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have fucking Google anymore. It's so weird. What's up, Mighty Thor? How are you? All right. Where is it? Where is it? Just woke up. Nice. I can't believe I'm this fucking hot today, man. That's crazy. Google's not working. I got a fever. What's going on? I got the upload for you guys of Feral People, Mike. What's up, Jay Cortez? How are you? I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna take a minute from fucking reading stories. I've been recording all night. I'm gonna text Jane and see if she's okay. Actually, let me see if Janie is okay. Are you okay? She was active 3 hours ago. That's weird. I hope she's okay. Pack of lot lizards, pack of dogmen. Tigger! Come here, buddy. Come on, buddy. Everyone wants to see you. Maybe if I shake something. Come on, buddy. He's been lazy lately. It is, Glenn. It is. I am super appreciative of it. I can't believe how fast it's growing, actually. Of course we are. I've been busting on your ass all night. You know who I'm talking to. What's up, Steph? I didn't even see Steph tonight. I'm saying goodbye to him. Hat thing. Is Rockin' Steady in here still? Fucking rockin' steady. Stacy, how are you? Fuck your Giants, rockin' steady. I am still sketched out about fucking Google. I know you are, you fucking weirdo. What's up, Mickey? I'm glad that you're well. I'm glad that you're here with us, Stacy. Dude, I am so weirded out by Google not working. Like, that's weird. Lot lizard story. In the small town of Rumble Creek, where the asphalt met the stars and the hours dripped like melting ice, there was a notorious truck stop known as Last Chance Saloon. It was a place where weary drivers stopped to refuel, grab a greasy bite, and perhaps indulge in the company of a lot lizard. But in Rumble Creek, folks whispered about one lot lizard in particular, Lot Lizzie. Lot Lizzie was unlike any other lot lizard. Local legends claimed that she was half human, half cryptid, with the ability to shapeshift. Her appearance could range from a slick-haired vixen in a spangled top to a scaly creature with glowing eyes that sparkled like 1,000 stars in the dark. Part-time truck stop muse, part-time cryptid, she had the reputation that both amused and terrified the regulars. One Friday night, a new trucker named Earl pulled into Last Chance Saloon. Exhausted after a grueling shift on the highway, Earl lumbered into the chain-link fenced lot, unaware of myths woven tightly into the fabric of Rumble Creek. Earl didn't believe in monsters, cryptids, or any of that. He was just there for the burger and a breather. As he stepped out of his cab, he noticed a flickering neon sign that read, "Specials, Lot Lizzie and Fries." Chuckled to himself and thought, what a town. But he felt a peculiar itch at the back of his neck and turned around to see her, Lot Lizzie, perched on the hood of a rusty old truck, her eyes glimmering under the yellowed streetlight. "Hey there, handsome," she called out, her voice sultry yet mischievous. Her smile was wide, revealing too many teeth, a little unsettling, yet oddly charming. Earl, taken aback, rubbed his eyes as if to clear away a mirage. Hi. I just came for a burger." "Burger?" Lizzie winked, her hair swirling in the night like a siren's call. "Sure, sweet cheeks, but I'm what I really came in. But I'm what you really came for." Unsure whether he was being seduced or lured to his doom, Earl hesitated. "I just want something to eat." "Oh, honey," she purred. "Eating is just an appetizer. I can guarantee a wild time that's to die for." Suddenly, Earl felt a chill run down his spine. Was that the flicker of scales he had seen? Or was it just his imagination? He gulped. "Look, I'm just here to grab some food and get back on the road," he stammered. "Suit yourself," Lizzie laughed. And a sound somewhere between a giggle and a growl. "But they say once you've felt the thrill of a lot, Lizzie, you'll never look at truck stops the same again." Earl hurried inside, shaking off the uneasy feeling as he ordered his burger. As he waited, he heard laughter from the others outside, the truckers who had seen it. They sat under the stars, sharing stories about Lot Lizzie scares and seductions. "She once turned a flat tire into a 4-lane highway of romance and chaos," an old trucker named Joe recounted. His eyes twinkled. "She danced on the hood of my rig, and when I blinked, she was gone," another chimed in. "By the light of the moon, they say Lot Lizzie's true form comes. And if you catch a glimpse, you're bound for adventures beyond your wildest dreams or your weirdest nightmares." Just then, Earl's burger arrived. He took a hefty bite, still feeling Lizzie's gaze burning from the outside. Warm laughter filled the diner, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was brewing out there. When he finally mustered the courage to leave, he walked to his rig, and that's when he spotted her, Lot Lizzie, perched on his truck one more time with a playful smirk on her face. You didn't forget about me, did you? She teased, revealing her lizard-like tongue, flipping out like a snake, ready to do a little tungalingus. Oh, no, he said, fumbling for his keys. I gotta go. Oh, come on, she cooed. An adventure awaits you. It'll be spooky, and you might even lose some teeth. At that, Earl's heart raced. He blurted, Teeth? What do you mean? With a cackle that echoed off the asphalt, Lizzie slid off the hood, transforming into her true form. For just a moment, bursting with shiny scales and a wicked glint. Just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. You'll never know in Rumble Creek. Earl sprinted to his truck, heart thumping like a jackhammer. He fumbled into the driver's seat, slamming his door, starting the engine, and backed out faster than a NASCAR champion. As he sped down the highway, he could see Lizzie standing in the moonlight, a shimmering figure waving goodbye. Weeks passed, and Earl did everything he could to forget about that night. But the tale of Lot Lizzie has stuck with him, echoing in his mind every time he drove through sleepy towns with strange legends. He always wondered what would have happened if he had stopped for a chat, if he could have laughed along with the others instead of running in terror. Whether it was fear or desire, every legend has its lessons, and Lot Lizzie would forever remain part of his own cryptid lore. And if you ever find yourself at Last Chance Saloon on a Friday night, take heed and keep your wits about you, for the legend of Lot Lizzie continues to swirl around Rumble Creek, bringing both fright and delight, one laugh at a time. Phew. Rumble Creek, baby. All right. I'm going to crash for the night. I am burning up. I don't know what's going on. Guys, 2 hours. Thank you. I'll see you Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got a date with Lot Lizzie. And I'm going to fucking put a cold washcloth on my face. Once again, guys, thank you for spending some time with me. I love you all. You guys make my Saturday night special, and thank you. I'll see you Monday. If I don't, I still care about you. And $20 is $20. See ya.